Alright, here we are with another web app assignment video, and this was kind of a furthering on the last assignment, so I recommend you watch that video, and I made a lot of changes to it for this one. Last time it just had to be sign in, but this is like sign in, sign up, and the other main requirement as a difference is that we had to use the localhost JBDC database. And then I also made some changes myself that I just thought would make it better. So first is the sign-in controller. I I made my controllers more what's the word? I guess just made more sense. So sign in, it handles only sign in stuff. Last time it wasn't. I basically name-wise they were wrong, but one of them just had your Git mappings and the other had all post mappings basically. So it wasn't too bad, but still. And name-wise, it was not great. So here you can see we use the user repository and the password encoder, set those up, and this actually uses cookies. I can't remember which file that would be in. It's probably sign up. It might not even be this one, but I think it is because it's the third one. Yeah, I used the Jakarta HTTP session because at the time we weren't taught Spring Security. We never really were, but we had enough of a lesson on it to use it. But I was having some issues at the time since this was going to be my first usage of it. But instead, I used basically one part of a Spring Security. I just used the servlet, but I ended up using it in my final, and you'll see that. So I'll just go down. So here, sign in. So you can check. So this checks if the session already has a user. So the same user can't sign in. Multiple users can sign in, which was a purposeful decision, but I wouldn't do that now. It's just a personal preference, but preference has changed. And then here, find user by username. This is the same where it does the little check to see if the user is valid. Then sign out. It basically just nullifies the session. Um, and then your Git mappings, which aren't really worth talking about. Then here the sign up controller, it handles sign up. So see here now this is using validation. So I'll show the validation util in a second, but it's using that and then it hashes the password at the end there. And then here you can see user controller. It just has that view data in it. Then here, user. The user is the same. I haven't started using Lombok at this point. This is this is the same as well, but there's also find user, find by username, which I don't think was in the last one. And then here's validation util. It has these regexes, uh, well, regexes and patterns. That's how they're compared. And then here you can see the private final user repository, and this see it has the different checks. So it is valid email, is valid password, is valid username, email exists, and user exists as well. And the pages are also pretty much the same as well. I just have some extra success pages, which, uh, excuse me, I wouldn't do it like this now. I'd just use an attribute to send a message, fail or success, but it was or I'd have one for just failure, one for success, instead of having three different success pages. But this was just, it's still me learning, so that's why, and that's why they're also pretty similar. But now I'd have just one for success, one for failure. And yeah, this is the kind of stuff that's better seen up and running. So here, also, I do this late in later assignments, but I don't do it here. You can see that whether you're signed in or not, it shows the buttons, but you see I'm not signed in, so sign out, it goes to the failure page. But later on, I just have them not there entirely, which is easier to read, I think. So sign in, let's just try and sign in because this account doesn't even exist. See, invalid username and password, so let's sign up. Let's just do default stuff. And then, so there, see that has been successful. So now we're in the main page. And this is, see this is the logged in page. So view data had a little bit of a failure there. I remember I didn't fix it in time, so that's why that's there. But the view data page still is there, and it's the same as last time. So and sign up, so you can still make a different account while in this. So if I just go back and I try, let's try logging in as that same account. So oh, so I think I'm just putting in the password wrong. So just give me a second here. So I was putting in the password wrong. I forgot that you don't automatically sign in when you sign up. So see, but now I'm successfully signed in. So if I try to go back, let's just use navigation. I also didn't have the navigation really down too well on this. So wait, once again, a lot of stuff is, this is the imperfect form of where I'm at now. So, so see, it's already in there from since I went page back, but it says you are already signed in. And so if I do this, see, sign out, and now let's try and sign in as fella again. Let's see. So it's a pretty simple and definitely not the optimal way to do it. You should use Spring Security, not just a part of it. And I made a few mistakes on this, but this was like a big step. You know, this is our first time using the external database for these assignments. Um, I learned about utilities, which see it's a component, so this is mostly just a naming convention. These are all like naming conventions, but see this is, this extends a repository. This is a model, an entity, and these are all controllers, but this is a util, but it's named as a component. But I learned about like basically, I already knew object-oriented programming, but I like learned more about like breaking it up in this context and that sort of thing. Like I said, I'm a lot more like the final for this. I mentioned this in previous videos. It's one of my favorite things that I've worked on. It's just like a lot of moving pieces, but it was really fun to do. So yeah, I think that's all, and see you next time.